Brought to you by Xander Insurance. Identity theft protection isn't a luxury in today's world. It's a necessity. Get yours at Xander.com.
I have a quick question. My girlfriend and I, we've been together for a little bit under a year and a half, and we're finally starting to have that talk about moving in together. Now, I am 25. I make a $100,000 salary. I'm doing well for myself. She's actually a teacher, so as you can assume, she's making less than what we would wish she was making. So when moving in together, the conversation arose of, hey, if I move in, we'll be splitting 50-50 everything because we aren't married or anything like that. And you'll have extra free money to spend. I'm currently on step 2, so she asked me what that extra money would go towards, and I said debt. Her response was a little unnerving in the fact of, she said, well, technically you're saving that money because of me, so I feel like that money that you're saving should go into a savings account for us and our activities, since you wouldn't be saving that money if we weren't living together.
Wow, what a mess.
I kind of understand where she's coming from because she is helping me save money and that money is paying off debt. But at the same time, I feel like that's not necessarily like a healthy mindset because overall, even if I do put that money into a savings account.
The problem, Josh, is you are trying to do a married thing without being married.
Fair.
And so you're trying to solve a riddle that cannot be solved. So you want a roommate that you sleep with, but you don't like their answers about money.
And she's totally exposed if she moves in with you, pays off your debt, and then you break up with her.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If she's my daughter, she'd be crazy to do.
Let me ask you something. If you're ready to move in, why don't you just get married?
Got a couple. I'd like to be debt free. I'd like to have a house before we get married. Because
why?
Just
neither one of us were.
Yeah, I wasn't.
That's fair. That's fair.
And you just said it would help you get to those things faster.
Agreed. Us moving in, yes, would allow me to.
Marriage would, actually. Moving in won't. Moving in actually sets you back on several fronts. The data is horrible on living together. It's the relationship data and the financial data sucks. And so, it just doesn't, it sounds all cool, but I mean, I'm serious. If you were my son or she were my daughter, I would tell you don't move in together unless you're married. And because the data tells us that your marriage is going to be better, your relationships are going to be better, and your finances are going to be better. Now, that kind of was not what you called for.
and here's the other thing. Here's the bigger red flag for me, because you're doing what you're doing what feels like culturally is the next logical step, even though the data says don't do that, right? Fine.
Right.
The bigger issue is your girlfriend threw a great flag, which is, I don't want to be a commodity on your journey towards your goals. If we are going to do something, and she said she tried to get there, and I would challenge her on how she tried to get there, but she tried to say, hey, let's save up for us when I am not a cog in your system to get your finances under control. When they're our finances, that's a totally different question. And so my bigger concern is she threw a flag and you're trying to end around it instead of dealing with the real issue, which is you have a girlfriend that doesn't feel safe in this relationship, or she's feeling used in this relationship. And
at least a little bit.
Let's have that conversation.
Yeah. And then also, so I really would, my challenge to you would be, because I love you and I want you to win, would be let's reset our decision-making framework here. And what would it look like? And what would the timeline be for us to get some pre-marriage counseling, get engaged, and get married? And you don't have to do 2 years. I mean, you could do that in a month if you want to. You got to decide what you're going to do and the wedding and the production and all that crap. But the technicality part of it is, without the drama, is that. Because here's the thing. We do know, the data tells us, that people that are married in their 20s have a substantially higher net worth than people who are shacked up in their 20s when we revisit them at age 40. We do know that. And it's because of exactly the problem you're facing, is that you're trying to pull together but you're not really together legally,
Right.
financially, because you're both exposed. If either one of you wants to walk off, let's say you bought her a car and gave it to her and she wants to walk off. Well, she's got a car. If you and your wife buy a car that she drives and she wants to walk off, there's a thing called divorce, and then we discuss what happens to the car.
Right.
And so financially, legally, and then that's the overtone. Then the underbelly of that is it drives your relationship much deeper because you are aiming at the future together. You have a very clear idea of the house we're going to build that's going to have the golden rocking chairs on the porch when we're 92, and the household that we're going to build.
Yeah, and then that's when your debt becomes y'all's debt.
Yeah.
And then she's all in because y'all are building this debt-free future together. She's all in on all of her money, and all of your money are going towards paying this
it's
thing
now
off.
our money.
Right.
But until you're married, it's not our money. So that's the problem. It's a real challenge to do shacking up well, and the data shows us that the divorce rate is higher for people that have first lived together. The wealth building is worse for people that live together than people that are married. Even health issues. We're even seeing men live, 7 to 10 years longer? Married men?
8 to 10 years longer, yeah. Women live 4 to 5, which is fair.
You have a theory about that.
Well, no, it's not a theory. I actually dug into why do men live longer, and it said the statistician
researcher
said because men do fewer dumb things when they're married, especially as they age. So, I mean, there's some truth to that, but
death-defying feats of stupidity.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Women live longer too, but only about 3 years longer.
I know. And
married women live longer. Married men.
Every
live longer.
woman in the audience, when we talk about that, they all be like, "Yeah, we can see dying earlier because we've had to deal with you." I get that.
Actually, 75% of the ladies outlive their husbands.
Yes,
that one we do know. Yeah. That's another one. So there's some interesting stuff in here, folks, that you can think about. So there's the thing is, when we try to take personal finance, and I loved to do it in the early days when I first started doing this, and just do math, it doesn't work. Because personal finance involves all the personal stuff, like relationships, your spiritual walk, your how you take care of your body, your career, and how diligent and excellent you are at your work ethic. All of these things end up weaving back into your finances. And so you can't take the finance piece and just set it over here on the table by itself and analyze it in a vacuum because that's not where it exists. The best ID theft protection is from Xandr. They not only monitor, they help you get your life back. Go to Xandr.com to learn more.